You can't force people to respect you in office, but you can definitely earn it quietly with habits that speak louder than your title. Have you ever seen that one person in office, the one who doesn't speak much, doesn't brag off, but everyone just listens to when they do? Now, they are not special. They didn't demand authority, they earned it through discipline, confidence, and how they carry themselves every single day. And today, in this episode of Freshers GPT, I'm going to tell you the top habits that will earn you respect and quiet authority in any workplace, that too without sucking up or showing off. And I will be breaking down each and every one of them today. And if you are someone who's tired of being ignored or underestimated at your workplace, then this video is for you. So, before getting into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let's get started. Number 1. The power that no one talks about, owning your mistakes. See, I don't know about life maturity, but corporate maturity starts with these 4 words. That's one on me. See, people who admit their mistakes instead of deflecting blame on others are always respected because that shows accountability, credibility, and most importantly, emotional intelligence, which is rare nowadays. For example, a report or a presentation goes wrong because of your mistake, and instead of saying, "Oh, that's definitely not my fault," you can simply say, "Oh, I missed that detail, but I have fixed it and here's the update. You can check it yourself." Now that shows leadership. And how you can start building it? Don't defend, rather start documenting. Explain the fixes instead of your failures. Treat every mistake as a lesson or a new learning opportunity, and you can also keep like a learning log just for yourself. See, owning your slip-ups always builds more trust than pretending that you never fail, because that's not humanly possible. Number 2, being punctual. Respect time and earn respect. See, punctuality might sound like a very basic virtue because it is something which has been told to us since our childhood and no one really follows it. But it is actually one step closer to being taken seriously in corporate. See, when you're showing up on time, be it to work, to meetings, to deadlines, or be it even a casual coffee chat, you are politely sending a message that I respect your time and I respect mine as well. Latecomers, they make others wait, and then opportunities make them wait. And trust me, nothing else in the world says unreliable louder than that. Now imagine that there's a 9 a.m. client meeting and you stroll in at 9:10 a.m. with a coffee cup in your hand, thinking that it's just 10 minutes and that's easily fixable and that won't make much of a difference. But trust me, you have lost your credibility even before speaking. And if you're a latecomer, start doing this. Firstly, try arriving 5 minutes early, always. Now, this doesn't just give like a good impression to your client or your employees or your colleagues, but it also gives you time to just set yourself into the environment, ease out, be comfortable, prepare for a meeting or a presentation, and just adapt yourself to the surroundings. Trust me, you'll yourself feel the difference. For remote work, try logging in before time and not after your boss's reminder or just a good morning ping. Start using calendar reminders or buffer times. They will really help you to be on time for your meetings, for your presentations, or any other important discussion. Number 3, saying no when necessary. See, respect starts with boundaries, and respecting yourself teaches others to respect you. And the yes sir, yes ma'am, yes for sure sir, these kind of people, they get burned out and then eventually get sidelined in every opportunity, every promotion, every meeting. And one thing that everyone needs to understand is that saying no to something which you cannot do or you don't want to do at the moment isn't rude. It is not offensive to people at all. Trust me, it is much better than owning up a task or taking a responsibility which you can't perform and then failing to do it properly. For example, a colleague of yours dumps the last minute work on you at 6 p.m., which is basically a log of time. And you can just politely say that I will help you on this or I will do this tomorrow morning. I already have a deliverable due today. So please, I hope that you understand. And how you can build this? Be assertive and not apologetic, and start learning the art of polite refusals. You can simply do that by saying that I really want to help you with this, but I definitely have project X which I want to wrap up first. So is it okay if I can help you on this later? And boundaries, they don't make you difficult, they don't make you come across as a very rude person. They just show that you are responsible and you are dependable. Number 4, staying updated always. See, there would be a short, simple equation for this. Knowledge equals influence. And you know who people listen to all the time? The one who knows exactly what's happening all around. And if you are someone who is completely updated about their work, their company, their industry, the tools, what's going on with the clients, what's going on in the meetings, then you automatically, naturally become a go-to person for everyone. Now, I'll give you just a very small, basic and a very hypothetical example for this. Just imagine that there's a team discussion happening and one of your colleagues just says that AI is just a hype and I think this wave will fade away really soon and we don't need to bother learning too much about it. And in reply, what you can say is, okay, oh really, but one of our competitors just recently automated their support desk completely using AI last month. Now, this instantly shows that you are someone who reads about the competitors, about what is happening in the market, what is happening in the industry, and you are also someone who is offering solutions time and again for each and every problem that comes across. And that builds immense amount of credibility. And how you can build this habit? Okay, it might sound boring to some people, but try reading at least one industry newsletter every morning. Spend at least 15 minutes of your day, of your entire 24 hours day span on LinkedIn, learning from experts like what is happening in the industry, what is happening in the market, what are the latest tools that are being used, just to be updated. And also try attending internal webinars or product demos. They might be boring, they might not really be interesting, but trust me, they'll actually help you to stay updated in your industry. And number 5, helping, but without expecting anything in return. See, you don't always need a reward for helping. Now, it may not sound doable, but trust me, sometimes the best recognition comes later and in ways that you would never expect. And for example, there can be a situation where you help one of your teammates to polish their deck for a big presentation. And what can happen after that is, maybe in the coming months, they are the ones who can recommend you for a client project or maybe a big promotion. And that's real networking, which you did not expect. And how you can build this? Firstly, start offering help without announcing it on Slack. And don't overextend. Pick the moments where your inputs would add real value and would also benefit you in the future. Number 6, speaking with confidence. Not loud, but clear. Because confidence isn't volume, it's actually clarity. And it's actually a very unsaid thing that people respect those who speak less, but the ones who speak with conviction all the time. For example, when you are in a meeting, instead of mumbling or saying the underconfident or the low confident phrases like, I think so, maybe, can we try this or not, I guess it will happen, I'm not really sure about it. Instead, start saying, based on the data and the research that I have done on my side, I think we should definitely try this test first. See, when your words sound sure, people start taking them seriously and positively. And how you can build it? Always prepare your thoughts before meetings, and that's exactly why I say that arrive at least 5 to 10 minutes before meetings, because that gives you the time span to prepare yourself, arrange your thoughts, collect them and then speak them aloud when the time is right. And try using strong openers before speaking any point. For example, here's what I have observed, or here's what the data suggests and I think we should do that. Number 7, delivering what you promise. See, you can be super talented, but if you are someone who doesn't deliver on time or doesn't deliver what you have promised, you lose respect instantly. Because any day, people will trust consistency more than brilliance. For example, if you have promised your colleague that you will share an XYZ report by EOD, please don't make them chase you until tomorrow morning. That sends a very bad impression. And how to build it? Always under-promise and over-deliver instead of over-promising and under-delivering. And if you are someone who forgets things easily, track your tasks with reminders and also start preparing your to-do list, because that will remind you of everything that needs to be done in your 24 hours day span. And in case a delay is bound to happen or is inevitable because of anything XYZ glitch or maybe because of your mistake, then try communicating about it early to the person you are reporting to, because if you are not communicating about it and then when the deadline or the timeline is over and the other person gets to know about it, you surely lose your accountability, because being reliable is your loudest silent PR. And number 8, the ultimate trust test: keeping things confidential. See, corporate trust is as fragile as a male ego, and the fastest way to break it: gossip or leaking information. And when someone tells something to you, my advice: always assume that it's private and confidential. For example, in a meeting, your manager shares a project or a big project plan with you and also tells you that it is something which is not to be discussed yet. And you just out of excitement share it over lunch with your fellow colleagues. Suddenly it's everywhere. And then congratulations, you have lost your trust in front of your manager and also your credibility. And the repercussion of it: you won't be included or you won't be considered in any other next big projects. And how you can build this habit? Firstly, think twice, or I'd say even thrice, before making any forward, sharing anything, or even taking a screenshot and sending it to someone. And never use office gossip as your social currency. It will backfire, because trust travels fast, but so does mistrust. Number 9, listen more and talk less. You know what makes someone instantly likable? When they feel heard. And good listeners, they don't interrupt. If you see them now, they'll always observe, ask questions and respond very thoughtfully, which would always make the other person feel valued. For example, a teammate, a work friend or a colleague of yours is venting in front of you regarding the workload that they are facing right now. So you, instead of cutting them, interrupting them or playing that one-up game by saying, "Same here bro, you don't know what I am going through," you can simply ask them what is exactly making things tough for you right now. Because people will always remember how you made them feel heard instead of what you said in a conversation. Firstly, avoid the urge to reply instantly. Just take a few pauses before speaking and try to analyze the situation, what the other person is saying and what the other person wants to hear. And you can also repeat a few highlights or a few key points of their discussion just to show that you were listening. For example, you can say, "So what you are saying is," and lastly, acknowledging others' efforts. See, credit might cost nothing, but it actually means everything. And corporate isn't a solo game. Respect grows when you also lift other people up. And the quietest leaders are those who also make others seen. For example, a teammate or a friend of yours really helped you work on a project or any sort of a meeting or presentation, and next day in the meeting when you are actually presenting the project, you can just give them a small shout out or an appreciation or acknowledging their efforts by saying that "No really helped me with the visuals and it really made the story pop out even more." Now this might sound like a very small gesture, but trust me, these small gestures can open really big doors for you in future. So don't miss out your chances. And how you can do it? You can tag your colleagues on your LinkedIn posts if you have done any sort of joint projects, and start using public praise like emails and meetings, and also private appreciation, for example DMs, notes, etc. Trust me, the moment you will start acknowledging others, people will automatically, in fact very naturally, start respecting you. And that's it, we come to the end of this video. And what exactly we learned today? That the way you show up, you speak up and back others up can massively determine your position and your respect in corporate. And start practicing even 3 of these habits that I've mentioned above in the video, and you will notice what big difference that it will make. You will watch how people's tone, trust and treatment towards you changes in days. And if you guys like this video, if you guys learned something new from it, if you guys found this video useful, helpful in any ways, then don't forget to put a thumbs up on it. Also keep sharing it with your friends, your colleagues who might benefit from it, who might learn something new from it. Also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We are very close to hitting the 100k mark, and I definitely need your support for it to continue like this with my team, with my efforts. A big shout out to my Freshers GPT team who has always and constantly been there with me for everything, for every video, every concept that we have come up for you guys. And also let me know in the comments your feedback regarding our content, any suggestions, any tips, anything that you want us to change, you want us to improvise, you want us to improve. I'd be happy to know all your suggestions, all your feedbacks, and I also try to implement them in many of my videos. I try my best. And also let me know in the comments what are the other topics that you want me to cover in my upcoming videos. Till then, keep following me on my Instagram. And also until my next video, keep following along my content on my YouTube. Keep subscribing, keep sharing, keep growing, keep learning. Bye.